When people talk about growth, they obsess over getting new customers. But the truth is, most of your revenue potential is sitting in the customers you already have. Look at this. If your retention is stuck at 95%, your growth is basically flat, even if nothing else is going wrong. You're just replacing the people who leave. But when those same customers stay longer and spend a little more over time, your revenue can jump by 30+% without adding a single new person. Retention isn't just a nice-to-have metric. It's the multiplier that determines whether your revenue line barely moves or compounds. A lot of teams think that if retention is stable, revenue should naturally grow. But that's not how it works. Company A keeps customers, sure, but every customer is worth the exact same $20 forever. There's no expansion. So even with great retention, revenue stays flat. Company B also keeps customers, but every year those same customers move up tiers, add seats, or buy more features. That pushes the average revenue per user up over time. And then you have usage-based scaling, where revenue only grows when customer activity grows. Same customers, but more usage equals more revenue. So retention protects your base, expansion is what actually grows it. Seat-based pricing is simple, but it's powerful. When a customer hires more people, your revenue grows automatically. If a team starts with 5 seats, revenue is flat because usage is flat. But when that team grows to 7 people, they don't renegotiate, they just add 2 more seats. That's instant expansion revenue. And when they grow to 12 seats, the compounding effect kicks in. Same product, same customer, but every new hire increases your revenue without you lifting a finger. That's why seat-based pricing scales so reliably. Customer growth creates your growth. Usage-based pricing works because it feels fair. Your customers only pay for what they actually use. So there's no frustration and no wasted spend. The second benefit is the low barrier to entry. Customers can start small, pay a tiny amount, and grow into the product at their own pace. That makes adoption way easier. And the best part is the automatic revenue lift. As customers use the product more, revenue increases on its own. No upsell calls, no negotiations, just natural growth driven by activity. Hybrid pricing works because it gives you the best of both worlds. You start with a fixed base, which keeps your revenue steady every month. Then you layer usage on top, so there's room for natural upside when customers grow. The first part is the blended model. Instead of choosing between seats or usage, you combine both. That way, revenue scales as customers expand, without forcing them into big jumps. The second benefit is predictable revenue. Your baseline comes from the fixed component, so finance teams get stability while product and sales still get upside from higher activity. And finally, hybrid reduces churn because customers feel they're paying in line with the value they're actually getting. If usage drops in a quiet month, their bill drops too, so they're less likely to leave. Hybrid pricing shines in 3 situations. First, when your customers are growing. If they're adding seats or expanding teams, the fixed part of the model grows naturally, and usage scales with it. You're not forcing them into big jumps, but you still capture the upside. Second, when usage is inconsistent. A lot of tools have activity that moves up and down each month. Hybrid lets customers pay in line with how much they actually use, which makes the model feel fair during slow periods but still rewards higher activity. And third, when the value metric is clear. If customers instantly understand what they're paying for, the model feels transparent. They can see the link between value delivered and what shows up on the invoice, which makes them far less likely to churn. Hybrid pricing solves 3 big problems at the same time. First, it helps you grow without friction. As customers expand or use more of the product, revenue scales with them. You're not stuck with flat fees that stop reflecting reality. Second, It gives you a predictable baseline. You still have a fixed component coming in every month, so you're not completely exposed to usage swings. That stability makes planning and forecasting a lot easier. And third, it fits customers better. People want pricing that matches how they work and what they get out of the product. Hybrid lets you tailor that relationship, which makes customers feel they're paying fairly and keeps them around longer. Hybrid pricing isn't magic though. It comes with a few real drawbacks you need to manage. First, usage can be unpredictable. If customers suddenly use more or less than usual, your revenue will swing with them. That makes forecasting harder unless you're tracking patterns very closely. Second, it's more complex to set up. You need billing systems that can handle both fixed fees and variable usage, and you have to monitor that data continuously so nothing breaks. And third, it adds operational overhead. Your team ends up managing two pricing components at the same time, which means more work across finance, product, and support. Hybrid pricing works best when your customers have different usage patterns. Some teams are heavy users, others barely touch the product. So giving everyone the same flat price never feels fair. A blended model gives each group what they need without overcharging anyone. It also helps with balancing costs. You get predictable baseline revenue from the fixed part, but you still keep the upside when customers use the product more. That mix keeps your cash flow steady without capping your growth. And the last piece is value segmentation. Not all customers get the same level of value, so hybrid pricing lets you charge more accurately for what each segment actually receives. That makes your pricing feel fair and transparent, which improves satisfaction and reduces churn. Right now, most SaaS companies are already using some form of hybrid pricing. Roughly 75% have moved away from pure seat-based or pure usage-based models because they want a mix of stability and upside. At the same time, around 45% are adapting usage-based pricing directly. That tells you something important. Customers want fairness and businesses want pricing that grows as usage grows. So if you're still relying on a single rigid structure, you're already behind the curve. The market is shifting, and these numbers show exactly where it's heading. Hybrid pricing only really performs when your revenue rises in step with the value your customers get. If usage goes up but value doesn't, the model won't save you. The truth is, the pricing structure is not the real unlock. The real leverage comes from deciding what you charge for. That one decision determines whether customers feel aligned with you or taken advantage of. Next week, I'm going to break down how to pick a value metric that clicks instantly for your customers, makes your pricing feels fair, and removes all the resentment people normally feel when a bill grows. This is the part most companies get wrong, so we're going to fix that.